Hello friends, my name is Narode Gitai. Welcome to my channel Study of Life Science. So in this video we are going to discuss about Munch hypothesis or loading and unloading of phloem. The German physiologist Ernst Munch in 1930 they discovered the loading and unloading of phloem. So in this video we are going to discuss in details how actually the mechanism take place. So let's see. The phloem. The phloem are responsible for the transfer of food material from one place to the another place. The phloem consists of sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem vessels. The sieve tubes. So we can see this is a phloem. The phloem consists of sieve tubes. This is a sieve tubes which are porous plate-like structure, and these sieve tubes are responsible for the transfer of food material from one place to the another place. These sieve tubes which surround the companion cells. So this is the companion cells. These companion cells are responsible for to provide energy for active transport. In addition, it helps to provide support of these sieve tubes. Okay, so let's see start how actually the process take place. Okay, so first we discuss the loading of phloem. Okay, so as a result of photosynthesis there is a formation of glucose molecules. So the glucose which is converted into the sucrose or any glucose derivative. So sucrose, the sucrose are formed inside the mesophyll cells. Okay, so once these sucrose are formed, this sucrose directly transferred inside the sieve tubes or 2 to 3 veins of leaf then transfer inside the sieve tubes. Okay, and where the sucrose are formed, those region is called as a source. Okay, so the sucrose transfer inside the sieve tubes by the symplast or apoplast pathway, and for to enter inside the sieve tubes they requires energy. Okay, so what is the symplast pathways or apoplast pathways? So these pathways varies from species to species, and these pathways are responsible for to find out which families of that particular plant. In addition, it is also responsible for to find out the habit of that plant. It may be shrub, trees or herb, or also helps to find out the climate of this plant. It may be tropical, temperate, arid or subtropical. Okay, so what is the simplest pathway? The simplest pathways is nothing but the movement of molecules from cell to cell through plasmodesmata. So it is called as the simplest pathways. And apoplast pathways, the movement of molecules from cell to cell by cell wall. Okay, inside the cell wall, that is called as the apoplast pathways. So both pathways which be present here to enter the sucrose inside the sieve tube, and for that enter they require the energy. Okay, so when the sucrose transfer inside the sieve tubes, the concentration of sucrose inside the sieve tubes become increases, and we know that the phloem there is present the adjacent cells which nothing but the xylem. So this is the xylem. Okay, so here this is the xylem, and we know that what is the function of xylem. The xylems are responsible for the conduction of waters and minerals, and I told you that the xylem are unidirectional. Okay, so xylem are unidirectional and phloem are bidirectional. So what is it means? Xylem which conduct the waters and mineral. Okay, so the direction is only one. So this xylem which conduct the waters and minerals only that direction. Okay, but in other hand the phloem which bidirectional, it means the source where there is formation of sucrose which move that pathways. Okay, and when this sucrose store inside the zinc cell, this sucrose further they act as a source and move that direction. So that's why the phloem are bidirectional and xylem are unidirectional. Okay, and we know function of xylem, which helps to conduct the waters and minerals. Okay, so now the sucrose concentration inside the sieve tube become increases, so the waters move from xylem to phloem by the osmosis. Get result, the turgor pressure inside the sieve tube become increases, and that is called as the hydrostatic pressure. Okay, and these pressures are responsible for to move this sucrose towards this sink cell or downward direction. Okay, so this sucrose move toward this that direction. Okay, now this is of the loading of phloem. So now let's see about the unloading of phloem. So in that unloading of phloem, what happened, this is one important thing is sink. Okay, so what is a sink? The sink is one of the tissues, one of the cells which is responsible for the storage of food materials. We know fruit which are grapes, okay, mango, sugar cane, beet, this is a food. Okay, and these foods where they store the food materials, and that is called as a sink. Sink is those cells which are responsible for the storage of food materials. Okay, and further this storage material utilized for metabolic process, that time this sink is act as a source. Okay, so now what happens once this sucrose per waters reaches that region, in that condition the sucrose which move these cells where they store. Okay, so what get result, the turgor pressure become decreases. Okay, TP, the turgor pressure become decreases, as a result the waters move from phloem to xylem. Okay, so here is a empty space. Okay, so this empty space means which create a gradient. Okay, and this gradient are responsible for to enter another sucrose and store inside the sink cell. Okay, and this sink cell further to move the metabolic activities whatever that region they want. Okay, so then this sink or the sucrose molecules utilize further processes. Okay, then waters is move again xylem, and then again this process continues take place. Okay, so this all about the loading and unloading of phloem. In addition, I want to tell you here the sucrose molecules when enter inside the sieve tubes, I told you that it may be symplastic pathways or it may be a apoplastic pathways. For that they requires energy. Okay, and okay, so let's see, this is one cell. Okay, and this is another cell. So this is the cells which are a sieve tubes. Okay, and this is cells which are maybe companion cells. Okay, so this sucrose which move from companion cell to sieve tubes by the symplastic or apoplastic pathway. So here to enter this cell wall there is present one of responsible for to enter the sucrose inside the cells. So how actually the mechanism takes place, so we will discuss. Okay, so let's see, this is a cell wall. Okay, and this is a cytoplasm of cell. Okay, so how actually the mechanism take place, and this mechanism is called as a sucrose H plus symporter, sucrose H plus symporter. Okay, that mechanism is called as the sucrose H plus symporter. So how actually the mechanism take place, the H plus ions which move toward the cell wall, for that movement they requires energy. Okay, so what get result, the H plus concentration outside the cell wall become increases. Okay, So each and every molecule has the tendency to balance, to be equilibrium. Okay, so that's the way these H plus molecules move toward the cytoplasm of inside the cells. In addition, they couple with sucrose. Okay, sucrose plus H plus enter inside the cell. Okay, sucrose plus H plus enters inside the cells. Okay, and that's way how the sucrose which enter inside the sieve tube, and that mechanism is called as a sucrose H plus symporter. Okay, symporter and antiporter is two terms. Okay, symporter means when molecules which we move in same direction. Okay, it's called a symporter, and antiporter when molecules which move from opposite direction. Okay, so this is all about how the loading and unloading of fluorine take place. So I hope you understand this mechanism. If you like these videos, please like, share with your friends, and definitely subscribe my channel. Thank you.